Okay, so it seems like recently there's been a little bit of a situation going on with this one post, and some people getting pretty triggered over it, which I think is quite funny because essentially this is a new list that Hololist have added. If you don't know, they kind of like list off like different categories of VTubers and kind of it's almost like an encyclopedia of VTubers or whatever you want to call it, right? And well, they create different tags and things. For example, this one, which they I'm pretty sure just made. I don't know if they've just made it or if they just added some new people to it. Which is obviously the Hag category. Now, if you don't know, Hag is something that, a lot of people use in the VTubing space to kind of refer to an older VTuber. Sometimes they don't even have to be older. Sometimes, their chat just start referring to them as that and they become one, right? And yeah, essentially, Hololist have made a complete category of them, and you can see some of the popular VTubers there that are all listed, and many of them have been pretty excited to be on this list or whatever, because again, lots of people don't mind being called that, right? It's whatever, and it's it's more so a joke and more so just one of these inside things with their chat, right? Now, of course, there's been a lot of quotes and stuff, including ChaChaYourVmom, who is included on this list, saying hags, hags, hags. Obviously, yeah, embracing her, place on this list, right? Loads of other people as well. San saying, I just keep winning, man. So officially recognized as a hag. I said, you got Omiya Emma, I'm no longer a hag. I could be young again. No more back pain. Then my grocery list is looking a little different nowadays. But that's funny. Like, not on the list, take that, misfits. So yeah, obviously some people say like, oh, I'm not on the list or whatever, and they've been adding a lot of people as well since this, including Vienna in the comments down here saying, I noticed I'm not tagged as a hag even though my chat calls me every single day. I've passed 30, please, you must remedy this. So yeah, essentially it's a term that they just use for older VTubers, and it's just become one of these very popular terms now that everybody just likes, right? Usually, a lot of time it can be used as an insult, in kind of regular context and whatever, but they've kind of changed the meaning of the word now to the point where it's like almost like a good thing that you're considered one, which, yeah, I mean, that's how they change things. But essentially, recently, why is this even a problem? Well, there's been a post that's come out that a lot of people have been getting pretty mad at from this person called Maya Pupana. Pupana, is that how you say it? Saying, why am I literally the only one who finds the hag jokes distasteful, sorry, not disrespectful. Let women exist and age and have niche hobbies, jobs, and interests in peace without making it a joke. So yeah, obviously they got pretty offended by this category, which again, I think is crazy considering a lot of the VTubers, if not most of the VTubers on this list, all embrace the kind of name and all just kind of refer to themselves as hags as well, as a joke, right? Saying, let me add, because it's not super clear, I'm not offended on their behalf. I'm just saying everybody, them included, should think about what sort of power and meaning their words convey and what sort of atmosphere they create/enforce. Growing old is a natural thing, a neutral thing. Saying, I think you're looking too deep into it. He said, I think people just don't realize how much power their words hold and what sort of atmosphere is being created. Again, I really don't think this is like as deep as some people think. Obviously, let's talk about like the power of words and whatever. But as I said, it's kind of lost its meaning a little bit in the sense of, the VTubing space, right? As a lot of words do, right? There's lots of very powerful words or whatever that have their meanings changed over time or with like different communities and whatever, to the point where, people don't get offended by it. It doesn't really mean the same thing that you think it is, right? Like, I think hag is just the Zoomer version of MILF, a term of endearment, but I also get where you're coming from, which, yeah, I think that is 100%, they kind of hit the nail on the head there. That is kind of what the new meaning of hag, it is, what the meaning of hag is. It's kind of like the new MILF, I guess you could call it that, right? Saying, I think it's just an endearing, relatable joke. Most of us are afraid of getting older, but then seeing so many cheerful VTubers jokingly call themselves old hags, letting us all know instantly that they too know these fears and are willing to joke about it, helps us relax about it. And yeah, 100%. That's also a very good point. Lots of people do get genuinely worried about getting old and whatever. And obviously, if anything, they're kind of popularizing it by using these terms and actually kind of like making it less of a bad thing and making it more of a good thing, right? They said, I can kind of get it. But at the same time, I don't find it necessary to make it a big deal. All of us age. It's normal for us to be doing this at this age. There isn't really any reason to panic. Just bravely be yourself. The majority of people are 30 plus anyways. Again, I don't know. I'm getting close to hag status and I dread it. It makes me feel like I'm old. So being older is freaking awesome. Don't fear it. So yeah, obviously a lot of people will say, who are you to decide that for them? I know at least half of them could play into it and enjoy the banter. The other half I haven't watched, so I can say, if you dislike that, you can set that boundary, but do we really need to start policing literally everything that's insignificant? And yeah, I think it's one of those things, like, if you don't want to personally be called this, that's okay, right? You know, you don't have to, you know, want to enjoy it. You don't have to want to be called a hag or anything like that. But it turns out that a lot of VTubers, especially a lot of these big VTubers, enjoy it, right? They enjoy, you know, being called this, and you know, that's just a thing that they've kind of owned now. So yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit weird because nobody's like forcing you to be called this or anything like that, right? A lot of people have been posted about this, say, let us exist in a space without having to participate in any of the ill jokes within that space. Why do you want to be in spaces so badly that you clearly don't like? Saying, oh, here comes the fun police, which, yeah, I think that's true. Saying, soon to be Hag Magazine, I'm very proud. You can't become younger, but you can become less annoying. Saying, it's a joke, not a dig, so don't take it so hard, which, yeah, I mean, it's fair enough. So this is truly something that has never sat right with me, and this is why. So obviously they say, yeah, here we go.
I know it's just a joke, but I don't think that women over 25 should be called a hag in a society that already demonizes women aging and yearning to look constantly 16 forever. It's a case that never sat right with me. I think that women should be encouraged to be the exact age that they are without fear of being reprimanded for their age. I feel like there's way more like derogatory, like feminine words than there are like positive ones. You know what I mean? Women have to deal with Hag, Foyd, Stacy, so much other stuff, you know, but there's no like, there's like girl boss, I guess. I know it's all in good fun. At the end of the day, I know it's all in good fun. I know no one means anything, but I hate that there's this general viewpoint that when women hit 30, their life is over. Like, I hate that there's this notion that as soon as a woman hits 30, like, it's just downhill from there. When, like, that's not true. But, like, that's not true. It's just not.
And again, it's just one of these things where I think a lot of people don't understand the meaning of why people call them hags now, why this is a thing. It's not a term of bringing them down for being old. It's not a term of, you know, said that they can't do certain things because they're over the age of 30, or that they're old because they're over the age of 30, or anything like that. It's just one of those things that is making it kind of positive, right? If anything, this is making the term positive rather than giving it a negative thing. Because before VTubing and all this kind of stuff, yeah, of course, the word hag would have been used as a insult and, you know, would have been used as a derogatory towards women and whatever. But it's one of these things now where these people have changed the meaning of it to the point where it's a good thing to be an older woman. And yeah, I think that saying like, oh, you know, it's still derogatory and all of this kind of stuff. Well, no, it's not at this point because, you know, they're changing the meaning of it, right? And it's not even necessarily the fact of this is like a bunch of male VTuber fans doing this to a lot of these big VTubers. No, this is the VTubers themselves, the women themselves that want to be called this, right? You know, for example, as I said, like ChaChaYourVmom, literally, you know, kind of embracing it here, just saying hags, hags, hags. You know, obviously, you know, embracing the fact that, you know, she likes this word or whatever. And, you know, kind of making it a positive thing. So, again, I don't understand, you know, why lots of people try to make it so negative, because all of these, well, I say all of these VTubers, I don't know about every single one on this list, but a lot of the VTubers on this list kind of embrace the word and have said that they, you know, like being called that, essentially. And I don't think there's a problem with it, right? You know, and I don't think, you know, we should, like, be bringing up all of this kind of stuff about, like, oh, it's derogatory and stuff, because clearly these women want to be called this. So people will call them that, right? And that's it. You know, obviously, and if they don't want to, that's fine as well. You know, that's also fine. You know, you can say that you're not comfortable with being called that, and chat will usually stop. If you got a good chat, then they won't call you that, right? So yeah, I mean, that is essentially all there is for this situation. I thought this is pretty insane. But again, if you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code CAZA, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.